Why hello there my fellow agents, what's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and I am back from vacation. We are talking about all things The Division today, but man oh man, the plane ride back was interesting to say the least. There was a guy that attacked a woman on the plane. Me and my bro Ryan had to take him down, and then we were questioned by the FBI. The plane landed, it was diverted to Chicago, it had like a couple hours of delay. But everyone was safe and sound. My brother and I did not get hurt, thankfully. But I plan on doing a vlog about that whole experience for sure. It was definitely something that just came out of the middle of nowhere. But thankfully, me and Ryan enacted a plan, and we are good to go. As always, use the video guide in the description for this video if you want to skip ahead to the news you seek about The Division. But guys, let's get straight into it. So we've got several news items today about The Division's release date. It's always about the release date because we just don't know it. So first of all, the good news is we have pre-order cards in other countries appearing now, suddenly out of the middle of nowhere. A Reddit user went to his GameStop or whatever. This was in another country, mind you, and he was ordering MLB The Show for the PS4, and then he noticed a pre-order card for The Division. What was really good news about the pre-order card is it says The Division is coming out in 2015 still. So that is the good news. Now, for the bad news about the release date, GameSpot recently did their lobby where they sit around, they talk about all things gaming, and they were talking about 2015's upcoming releases, and one of them, of course, the big discussion was The Division. Would we see it in 2015? Most of them said no. They believe that it will be delayed. You know, I also share the same feeling that it would be late 2015 or early 2016 that we would see the game. And in fact, you know, during the fiscal call that Ubisoft had about, you know, their earnings, they actually mentioned that The Division would be coming out anytime from now up until March 2016. So anytime from now until March 2016, you can expect to see The Division, but at least we know that much. I don't think we would see it any later than March 2016. But this is a huge game, and it's been so quiet for The Division in every regard. Sure, we've got some podcasts here and there, but nothing significant or major. No gameplay or anything like that. So I think that they are really taking their time, and they've warned fans the game will come out when it is ready. So GameSpot, they do share the same concern as me, and I really do like those guys, so be sure to check them out, by the way. They have some great content. But what do you guys think? Do you guys want it to make a fall 2015 release date, or do you prefer them to really take their time? Please let me know in the comments below. And MyDivision.net did a summary of articles that were released around the interwebs about The Division. Now, these articles were in other languages, so it was sort of hard to translate, but from what I can tell, we have some brand new weapons that apparently have been confirmed for The Division. We've got the MP5, of course. We know, I believe already, that that is going to be in the game, but we also have the F2000. Now, you know, Ubisoft in a previous podcast said expect some more exotic weapons, stuff that you may not find lying around New York City. So yeah, again, I would expect a wide variety of weapons on offer. Basically the same system from Ghost Recon Future Soldier, but cool to hear about weapons in any way, shape, or form at this point. I'm really curious to see what the total weapon list is going to be like. I'm hoping that's like absolutely staggering. That's one thing about this type of game. I am for a weapon list that's absolutely huge, but when you talk about other competitive multiplayer shooters that get into like a ridiculous amount of weapons, it can get a little bit overwhelming and, you know, unnecessary. But for a game like this that's co-op, that's about loot, that's about upgrading your gear, the more the better. So MyDivision.net spoke about the cleaners in more detail, and they mentioned something that I have not even spoken about or covered here on Open World Games, and that is their garbage truck. You know, we saw them roll up in a garbage truck in the CGI trailer. Now, could this happen in the actual game? Well, it's likely that we could be seeing this in the game, especially when we're talking about open spaces, and I'm crossing my fingers that that is actually the case, because it would be so cool to have an armored truck that you had to take down with heavier weapons. You have to go seek out heavy weapons and then come back and take down an armored garbage truck. Of course, don't expect tanks or anything like that in an urban civilian environment, but expect something heavier like garbage trucks. I would hope that this would be in the game. It has not been confirmed. It's been seen in the CGI trailer, but if anything, I'm hopeful that Ubisoft knows that the CGI trailer does need to represent the gameplay from The Division, which I'm hopeful about. So I would expect something like this. They really do need to up the variety of enemy types, and they really do need something like this. Can you imagine standing there and hearing the rumbling sound of a garbage truck, and you know you are in deep shit by that time? So hopefully we see this in the game. Let me know if you guys want to see more enemy types, and if you have any other ideas about other enemy types for The Division, please do post them down below. So there was another website, and it is in a different language, but you can right click and do translate to English, thankfully. But you know, from the gist of what I could read, they spoke about wild dogs and rats in The Division. We know that there is going to be some sort of dog encounters in The Division. I'm certain that some of them will be a threat. I really do hope so. It'd be cool if you had, you know, the cleaners, your regular enemy types, garbage trucks, and then wild dogs, so you could see that they're building this variety in The Division. So that's really good news. But you know, it sounds like these wild dogs and rats could actually be a harm to the environment, to the civilians, so they could be spreading the disease. Now you get the idea as to why these cleaners are so serious about burning everything. I really can't blame them in some ways. I know that sounds weird, but when you're talking about viruses, they spread extremely easily. So it's interesting to see that perspective. When we're talking about rats and an out of control virus or plague, if you will, spreading to animals, it gets freaky. So it really does set up the scene that we could be seeing some vicious creatures in The Division, and you may feel a little bit conflicted about taking on the cleaners for sure. Oh my, it's top comments time. So here's one from Mindo SYK, who says, will the map be completely open with no loading times between dark zones and the rest zones, which are known as social zones? Or will it work as Destiny with different zones where you need to teleport? Okay, so well, as Ubisoft describes it, this is a completely open world game, and transferring from different zones is completely seamless. Now, with that being said, there is fast travel in the game, so you can teleport anywhere. A lot of people will end up not using the open world. They will just teleport to a zone and start playing because it's just going to be simpler. I know that's what's going to happen, to be realistic. Also, the rumor has it that entering a dark zone, you are required to go through a decontamination chamber. So I would think that would act sort of like as a temporary match making screen. A really cool one, mind you, as you are being decontaminated or whatever. But that is a complete rumor at this time. But I would hope that this game ends up being completely seamless. I do not want it to be like Destiny. They have not given any indication of that. They've really said this is an open world game, guys, and thankfully it's not like multiple planets like Destiny was. That was the problem with Destiny. It's because it was multiple planets, it was multiple zones. So again, I would expect an open world that is seamless and with fast travel, and to get to the dark zones, you're going to probably have to decontaminate. So just expect that from The Division. Good question. Now, this is something I haven't spoken about, and Het Monster 2 goes on to say, I don't think there will be a season pass or something like premium. Oh, there's going to be a season pass. I believe that there will be a season pass or something like premium. It's probably going to work a lot like Destiny. Expect content to be released often, and I'm hoping that's really big, you know, huge expansion packs. What I'm actually hoping for the content, though, is that they don't, like, you know, say, we're going to create a whole new environment that you have to load into. Check out this city now. I want them to build on the city they already have. Open up brand new shops. Open up brand new buildings. Say, okay, this building is now enterable. We've actually created an interior for it. It's an absolutely massive skyscraper. Experience all of it. You know, climb the entire building, find loot within the building, and they do this, and they keep opening up the city in that way. I love if finally we could have that in a game where you can see them doing stuff to the existing environment, you know, creating seasons, adding to the current existing game world. Don't go and abandon the game world you've worked so hard to create. Just keep adding to it. So I'm hopeful that that is what they go for with the Division. But yeah, we will definitely be seeing a season pass and lots of DLC for the Division.
You better believe it.
So there you guys have it. Thank you once again for watching and sticking with me. Again, we are almost at 200,000 subscribers. My mind is blown right now to think like a year ago I was covering Watch Dogs and stuff like that, which of course was disappointing for a lot of us. Man, you guys have really stuck with me. I really appreciate it. I was really worried after Watch Dogs. I was like, no, don't leave me. A lot of you guys really stuck with me, and I am so thankful for that. We're going to journey into the Division now and other open world gaming goodness. So thank you again. Remember, we are right here on YouTube. We are on Facebook and Twitter. Come join our wonderful community. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you next time.
Alright. The store was empty. I heard that gunfire. Nick, check your map. See if there's anything in the area. That police station's going critical. Let's head up that way.